Right then, folks, this is Socionics. Aye. Little comment there on the tricodes. And when you're doing hangouts with Russian speakers, it gets even harder for them because they're used to the I being pronounced as E and the E being pronounced as E. So, see there, E-I-E would be E-E-E to them. So it's this, so the tricode. So this is my thoughts on how they convert across. And I shouldn't have MBTI written on there. I should have Kersey written on there because those are the profiles that I am familiar with. So you can see the, I don't need to read this through, but what I can say, apart from the fact that ESI doesn't really translate over unless, I mean, individuals. So for instance, Shannon, ISFP, Enneagram type 613 relates to parts of the ESI profile. I suppose she has sort of, she's phobic, but she has counterphobic tendencies. And when you actually hear about those things, you actually think, that's in line with the artisan temperament. So, but otherwise, you can see that it tends to be a moral hardliner. If you check out Mary Whitehouse, ESI, I agree with Jack Aaron on that typo when he typed Mary Whitehouse as ESI. LSI is the Putin. Difficult, weird combo of ISTP, ISTJ. All the other ones line up neatly. So you can see that those are the S8. Those are Victor's names for the types, like marshal, mediator, politician, all those kind of things. Yeah, the poet's called lyric, but that refers to a style of poetry in Russian. It's not songwriter. So the main part of this hangout, mini hangout, I hang out with myself. Boo-hoo me. Is about you helping me with the descriptions. So if you could write a description for all the videos that you watch, could you please write a description and put, and if there are any particular bits you like, you can put timestamps in, and then I will take the best description and I will put it in the actual description box, because apparently this helps with the YouTube algorithm to have a proper description rather than what I usually do is just the same thing again and again. So if you can help me out there, please. After you've watched the video, if you can put timestamps in and things like that, and especially for the Catherine Farber videos, which tend to have sections on them. So I would very much appreciate it for those for the Catherine Farber videos and the Victor Galenko videos, and those videos that tend to get more views. So I suppose well, just those for now. Anyone that you happen to be watching, if you could like do a nice description of the video for me, please, then I can copy and paste that into the description box and attribute the person who wrote the description. So there we go. Yeah, a little comment on this. The Kersey INTP is very much like the LII. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Kersey INTP was based on David Mark Kersey. David Mark Kersey was typed as LII by Victor Galenko. And then when the man himself, David Mark Kersey, read Victor Galenko's LII profile, he said, perhaps there's something to it given his ability to capture the type. And by that, he meant the architect rational. So that's one thing. In the profile, it says, if an organization is to get the most out of an architect rational, they need to be supplied with an efficient support staff to capture their ideas as they emerge before they lose interest and move on to another idea. That does not sound like ILI. And in the Kersey INTJ mastermind profile, it talks about don't have much emotional expression, but deep down can be very emotional and even romantic. It talks about they want a strong mate. That fits with the particular romance styles in Socionics. It also talks about the fact that Kersey Mastermind submits every idea to the test of usefulness in terms of its ability to be applied to a practical end. It also talks about the types contingency planning, how they really plan out far into the future and avoid contingencies, things going wrong, and that corresponds nicely with the intuition of time with a negative symbol on it, sort of minimizing the negative. So you've got the NI there in Kersey's mastermind profile, you've got the TE there, you've got the FE break there, you've got the fact that they want a strong mate there, and you've got the FE break there with them not caring about other people, and you've got the emotions on the inside. So anybody reading that mastermind profile who thinks that it's LII needs to go back to typology school. Seriously. Right. All right then. Oh, and another thing as well. Recently, David Mark Kersey did say that he doesn't like conflict. But basically, in his explanation of that, that's not talking too much out of school. Basically, SE break is confirmed with him, and that also came through in the video that we did with him. It's about 4 hours long, the David Mark Kersey interview. So I will stop this now. So these are my thoughts on that. And also, yeah, SEI, very much like the Kersey Protector. Kersey Protector talks about very good as nurse, very good as general practitioner, things like that. Again, it's attending to the SI minus, the minimizing discomfort, the actual bodily health. So yeah, that correlates quite well. The only thing that's not in the Kersey profile is the suggestive NE about the SEI being interested in ideas and a miniature nerd. That's not in the Kersey profile, but what's not in the Socionics version of the SEI is things that, oh, they can be a great somebody in insurance and protecting people, or very good as a general practitioner. So each of them have their biases. So it's almost as if the Socionics SEI profile is the house spouse that is a miniature nerd, whereas the Kersey one doesn't have the miniature nerd aspect to them, but it does show them doing different things apart from house spousing. So again, and the idea that most general practitioners get the impression that Kersey sees them as ISFJ resemblers. So that's my general thoughts on that. And remember, whenever I talk about the types and I use the MBTI code, I'm not talking about MBTI profiles. I'm talking about Kersey profiles. And those Kersey profiles are very much in line with the Linda Behrens profiles, because Linda Behrens wrote her profiles holistically, a systems field theory without functions, and she taught Dario. So that there's a tree there, there's a chain, and Dario's research has validated what Kersey wrote about the guardians and the artisans. So there's EEG backup for what Kersey wrote about. So I'm with that tree, the Kersey Behrens Nardi tree, not the MBTI people, although generally the way I've heard people describe that, they're pretty darn similar. So those are I'm talking about humanitarian socionica, and the Behrens, Nardi, Kersey profiles are all the same. They even have similar names. That's a future video. Not a very good one. It might not be good. Bye-bye.